Have you ever watched a perfect online store transform into a digital disaster faster than you can say checkout button? Well, grab your popcorn because today we're diving into the wild world of e-commerce catastrophes where million-dollar businesses turned into cautionary tales overnight. I'm talking about stores that went from hero to zero so fast it would make your head spin. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot these red flags before they destroy your own online empire. But first, I would like to tell you about the store that accidentally sold its entire inventory for $1 each. Picture this. It's Black Friday morning, and Sarah's boutique clothing store is ready for their biggest sales day of the year. She's been preparing for months, stocking up on inventory, setting up promotional campaigns, and triple-checking her pricing systems. Or so she thought. At exactly midnight, when her flash sale went live, something went horribly wrong. Instead of applying a 20% discount to her premium jackets, a coding error made every single item on her website cost exactly $1. Not $1 off, $1 total. Within 30 minutes, she had sold 3 months' worth of inventory. Her phone was buzzing with order confirmations faster than a slot machine hitting a jackpot. By the time she woke up and checked her dashboard, she had processed over 2,000 orders for products that typically sold for $50 to $200 each. The financial damage? She lost nearly $80,000 in a single night. But here's the kicker. She was legally obligated to honor every single order because they were legitimate purchases. This wasn't just a pricing mistake. This was a complete business meltdown triggered by one tiny decimal point error in her promotional code system. Sarah's story isn't unique. In fact, it represents one of the most common e-commerce catastrophes that happens every single day. But what makes some businesses recover from these disasters while others completely crumble? I just wanted to let you know that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. Let's discuss the anatomy of an e-commerce catastrophe. These disasters don't happen in isolation. They're usually the result of multiple minor problems that snowball into massive failures. Think of it like a perfect storm where everything that can go wrong does go wrong at the exact moment. The first ingredient in most e-commerce disasters is overconfidence. Successful store owners often become complacent after a few good months or years. They stop double-checking their systems, they rush through updates, and they assume that what worked yesterday will automatically work tomorrow. This is precisely what happened to Mike, who ran a thriving electronics store. Mike had been crushing it for 2 years straight. His conversion rates were stellar, his customer reviews were glowing, and his monthly revenue was consistently growing. So when his payment processor suggested upgrading to a new system that promised faster transactions and lower fees, he jumped on it immediately. The migration happened on a Tuesday afternoon. By Wednesday morning, his customers couldn't complete purchases. The new payment system wasn't integrated adequately with his inventory management software. Orders were being processed, money was being charged, but products weren't being marked as sold or shipped. For 3 days, Mike unknowingly sold the same items to multiple customers, despite his inventory system indicating that everything was still in stock. When he finally caught the error, he had oversold his entire catalog by 400%. Customers were furious, chargebacks started rolling in, and his merchant account got frozen due to suspicious activity. The aftermath was brutal. It took him 6 weeks to sort out refunds, communicate with angry customers, and restore his reputation. His monthly revenue dropped by 70%, and it took nearly a year to recover his previous sales levels. All because he trusted a routine system upgrade without proper testing. But here's where things get really interesting. The most devastating e-commerce catastrophes often happen during peak sales periods, when store owners are least equipped to handle problems. Remember Jessica's handmade jewelry business? She learned this lesson the hard way during her first holiday season. Jessica had been growing her business slowly and steadily throughout the year. By November, she was feeling confident about handling her first major holiday rush. She had stocked up on materials, created beautiful gift packaging, and even hired a part-time assistant to help with fulfillment. Everything was going perfectly until December 15th. That's when she received a bulk order from a corporate client wanting 200 custom necklaces for their company holiday party. The order value was $15,000, more than she had made in the previous 3 months combined. She couldn't resist taking it on, but here's what Jessica didn't account for. Creating 200 custom pieces required her to pause all other order fulfillment for nearly a week. Meanwhile, her regular holiday orders kept pouring in. Her usual 3-day processing time stretched to 2 weeks, then 3 weeks. Customers started leaving negative reviews complaining about delayed shipments. Her email inbox exploded with angry messages. Several customers disputed charges with their credit cards, claiming they never received their orders. Her carefully built reputation crumbled in a matter of days. The corporate order that seemed like a blessing became a curse. By the time she delivered those 200 necklaces, she had lost dozens of regular customers, and her store rating had plummeted from 4.8 stars to 2.3 stars. The short-term gain cost her long-term sustainability. Now, let's dive into the psychology behind these catastrophes. Why do smart, experienced entrepreneurs make decisions that seem obviously wrong in hindsight? The answer lies in something called catastrophic thinking bias. When everything is going well, our brains trick us into believing that success is permanent and failures are impossible. We start taking bigger risks, cutting corners on testing, and ignoring warning signs that we would have caught during slower periods. It's like driving faster when the road seems clear, not realizing there might be ice around the next corner. This bias explains why many e-commerce disasters occur in successful stores rather than struggling ones. Struggling store owners are already paranoid about every potential problem. They double-check everything, move slowly, and carefully test each change to ensure accuracy. Successful store owners, on the other hand, develop a dangerous sense of invincibility. Consider the case of David's dropshipping empire. He was making 6 figures per month selling trending gadgets through social media advertising. His operation was smooth, automated, and highly profitable. So when he discovered a new product that was exploding on TikTok, he decided to go all in. David invested $30,000 in advertising during the first week, driving massive traffic to his new product page. Orders poured in faster than he had ever seen. His daily revenue jumped from $3,000 to $15,000 overnight. He was convinced he had found his next million-dollar winner. But David had skipped his usual product testing phase. He was so excited about the viral potential that he didn't order samples, didn't verify his supplier's quality standards, and didn't read customer reviews from other sellers. He just saw the opportunity and jumped. 2 weeks later, the products started arriving at customers, and they were terrible. The gadgets barely worked, broke after minimal use, and looked nothing like the advertising videos. Negative reviews exploded across social media. Customers demanded refunds. His advertising accounts got banned for promoting misleading products. The financial damage was catastrophic. David had to refund over $100,000 in orders. His advertising accounts were permanently banned, and his merchant processor held his funds for 6 months due to excessive chargebacks. A single product launch destroyed a business that had taken him 3 years to build. But here's the most important lesson from all these stories. The difference between stores that survive catastrophes and those that don't isn't about avoiding mistakes entirely. It's about having systems in place to catch problems early and respond quickly when things go wrong. The stores that recover fastest from disasters share 3 common characteristics. First, they maintain detailed backup systems and documentation. When something breaks, they can quickly identify what went wrong and how to fix it. Second, they prioritize customer communication above everything else. They understand that transparency and honesty can preserve relationships even when products or services fail. Third, they view catastrophes as learning opportunities rather than business-ending events. Sarah from our opening story actually exemplifies this perfectly. Remember how she lost $80,000 in that pricing catastrophe? Instead of shutting down her business, she used the incident as an opportunity to overhaul her systems completely. She implemented multiple pricing approval layers, created automated alerts for unusual order volumes, and developed a crisis communication plan. 6 months later, Sarah's business was stronger than ever. The incident had forced her to build better systems, and her transparent communication during the crisis actually increased customer loyalty. Some of the customers who bought items for $1 became her most prominent advocates, praising how professionally she handled the mistake. The e-commerce world is unpredictable, chaotic, and sometimes absolutely brutal. But it's also full of opportunities for those who prepare properly and respond wisely when things go sideways. Every catastrophe contains lessons that can make your business stronger, more resilient, and better equipped to face future challenges. So the next time you're tempted to skip testing a new feature, rush through a system update, or take on more than you can handle, remember these stories. Remember that the most successful e-commerce entrepreneurs aren't those who never face disasters. They're the ones who survive them, learn from them, and come back stronger. Your online store will face challenges. The question isn't whether problems will happen, but how you'll respond when they do. Will you have the systems, mindset, and resilience to turn catastrophes into comebacks? That choice is entirely up to you. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please feel free to subscribe now, like, and comment below.